Welcome back to Search for a Cure, everyone. Pfizer submitting an application for emergency use to the FDA for a COVID treatment pill. The pill, called Paxlovid, works by lessening enzymes in the body that COVID uses to replicate. Now, if approved, this pill would allow high-risk people infected with COVID to take a treatment at home. This could help prevent hospitals from becoming overwhelmed during spikes in COVID. So for more on this, we're joined by Dr. Soumi Eachempati, who is the co-founder, CEO, and CMO of Cleared4. Thank you so much for taking the time. Help us break this down, as we do know just yesterday President Biden purchased 10 million treatment courses of the Pfizer antiviral COVID pill. So can you tell us more about this pill?
Sure. Well, it's very exciting. And we have to remember there's actually two companies making pills, Merck first and then Pfizer. Merck has a little bit of a head start with the FDA, but both are given within several days of developing symptoms of COVID. And that's a very important point. The Pfizer pill, as you're talking about, is a protease inhibitor and is actually given with another drug that's a protease inhibitor together. So one of the main issues about the pill is that there's a large volume of pills to take. And this is not insignificant. For the Merck pill, they have to take 40 pills over 5 days, and for the Pfizer one, 30 pills over that same time. And people, I'm just wondering if people are going to be taking that after a couple days they're feeling okay, will they take the whole course? So that's something important to consider. But it is very exciting that these pills are being developed and on their way to FDA emergency use.
How vital is this treatment to putting an end to this pandemic?
Well, I think it's tremendously important, both in the U.S. and abroad. And Pfizer has already been contracting with countries around the world, 95, to give the pill to some of the poorer countries in the world. And that's very important because they have obviously lower vaccination rates, and they'll have a public health system set up to give the pills out. But that is very important because we have to remember that this pandemic is global, and we have to stop the pandemic all over the world so variants don't pop up and then go to countries that have higher vaccination rates. So it's very important.
That's a great reminder as well. If this pill is approved, do you believe that it will be a deterrent or prevent people from getting the vaccine?
Right. That is such a great question. And there's so much evidence on both sides that people will think it's a safety net and not get their vaccine, or more importantly, not get their booster, which also is something that's very important in the holiday season to get people's immune status back up. And so, yes, I think that certainly is plausible. But I think we have to remember that the U.S. has about almost 70% vaccination rates right now. And that's almost like 1/3 of the country not vaccinated. So the thought is that people are already not getting vaccinated for other reasons. And so there's already been major healthcare initiatives, mandates, et cetera, to try to get that last third vaccinated. And it's been slow. So I don't think the pill will prevent those folks from getting vaccinated, but it may help prevent them from getting the booster, is what I'm thinking.
And with all of the data that we've seen from each of the vaccine manufacturers, the research and development, can you explain why it's still so important, even as you were mentioning boosters a moment ago, for people who have been vaccinated to this point to still go and get booster shots?
Well, there's no question that the immune status will wane over time. It was shown in Israel almost 6 months to the day after they had a vaccine push last December, and it's being shown everywhere as rates are starting to go back up in this fall. You just showed a slide where last year, if you look, there was a peak right after Thanksgiving and right after the New Year, and that's because people will go to parties. The vaccination rates are higher, and the peaks won't be as pronounced this year with the amplitude, but there will be gatherings of people who weren't previously exposed to each other, and there will be more cases. And I think it's very important to try to get that booster now as soon as possible for everyone in the holiday season where there are naturally more gatherings.
Is there a material difference between the Pfizer pill and the Merck pill, if I can just summarize them that way?
That's a great question. And so the data did differ, but the populations for the subjects differed as well. Pfizer had 89% success rate and Merck had a 50% success rate. However, both of them did almost very well at eliminating death and hospitalization. So they were both very good in the populations they studied, but technically the Pfizer had a better rate, but it may not have been comparing apples to apples.
Dr. Eachempati, stay with us because this is one of my favorite parts of our show every week, where we actually take some of the questions that are being asked on social media from our viewers and broadly about some of the topics that we have been discussing as well. The first one up, starting with, is the vaccine not good enough? A question being raised after we've seen some of the new antiviral COVID pills that have been researched, developed as well, and are now looking to get emergency use authorization.
Well, that's a great question, and everything is relative. So what people are thinking about is, wait a minute, we had smallpox and that's gone. That must have been a great vaccine. We had polio and that's pretty much gone. That must have been a great vaccine. Is this one not good enough to compare with those historically tremendous advances? And the truth of the matter is, everything is different. This disease is different, and so these vaccines are tremendous. They will almost with certainty eliminate death. You should get the vaccine. The levels may wane because that is just the physiology of the virus is different. But these are tremendous vaccines. It's an enormous advance in medical care and public health, and everyone should be applauding the companies and public health officials who champion them.
The next question that we had come in, what are the side effects of the Pfizer pill, the antiviral? Because we do know that for those who have gotten vaccinated, there is often, a side effect as the vaccine is working its way through your body as well, and an immune response that is triggered as such. What about for the antiviral pills?
Sure, and the pills were very well tolerated in the studies of about 1,200 patients, and the side effects were relatively mild, GI side effects, nausea, vomiting, and essentially very close to the placebo group. The most important thing to remember is that these pills should not be taken in pregnant subjects, and that is something to consider.
And then just lastly, while we have you briefly, how long is the effectiveness supposed to last?
Of the pill?
Yes, of the antiviral
Okay.
pills.
Oh, sure. So the goal of the pills is to prevent death or hospitalization if you have active COVID infection. And this is very important because they were studied in patients who were unvaccinated, and they really don't know if they're going to minimize the effect of breakthrough infections in people who are already vaccinated. So the effect is during the course of one COVID episode. It was not studied to see if it would prevent recurrent breakthrough infections, but that is a very good question and something to follow.
Dr. Soumi Eachempati, who is the co-founder, CEO, and CMO of Cleared 4, thank you so much for taking the time here and answering a few of our questions as well from our viewers, too.